There was a big change around 2007 when Apple launched their first iPhone. Can you talk about how that one change has led to a significant impact on young generation's mental well-being?
Yes, I mean, phone was okay, but I think it's the apps. Too many apps now are there, right? We're coming up with different apps. We have to think about, plan it. It's right there. It's like you're cooking in the kitchen, you're going to the bathroom, you're doing something. Wherever you're going, your phone is in your pocket.
Bhawna, we have seen new technologies emerge throughout history. When we were growing up, we saw evolution of television, video games, and the internet. Why is this current wave of social media and smartphones considered to be fundamentally different and more harmful than previous technologies?
We have a little one in the family, my grandniece. So we see that, she was very young when we started. She was already looking at the phone and smiling. So I realized that, there is something there that it feels more attractive because of the light.
Namaste everyone, I am Shilpi and I'm the proud host of Safarnama with Shilpi. Thank you for watching my videos and supporting my channel by sharing with others and subscribing. Your encouragement means the world to me and it motivates me to create the content that truly matters. In 2024, 45% of young people aged 10 to 24 reported struggling with their mental health within the past 2 years. The prevalence of depression in adolescents and adults aged 12 and older during August 2021 to 2023 was 13.1%. Among adolescents aged 12 to 19, the prevalence of depression was 19.2%, the highest among all age groups. In recent years, many people are worried about the mental health of young people. They think that social media and smartphones are making kids feel more anxious and sad. This seems to be a new problem that hasn't happened before. In the past, we had new things like TV and video games, but social media and smartphones are different and might be more harmful. Today, we will dive deep into the influence of social media on young people's mental health, and today we are honored to have Bhawna Luthra with us to discuss this important topic. Bhawna Luthra is a highly experienced and licensed professional counselor based in Houston, Texas. With over 18 years of experience, Bhawna has worked in diverse settings including hospitals, schools, colleges, and private clinics. And this important topic has been brought to you by India House in collaboration with Hawk Foundation and Asian American Health Coalition. India House Houston is a vibrant non-profit organization dedicated to uniting cultures and enriching the greater Houston community. Through its diverse range of free programs and services, it addresses critical needs such as healthcare, legal aid, education, and wellness. From food distribution and charity clinics to yoga classes and cultural activities, India House fosters inclusivity and provides a welcoming space for people of all backgrounds to connect, learn, and thrive. Bhawna Luthra, thank you so much for coming to Safarnama with Shilpi and taking time out from your schedule to discuss such an important topic.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Bhawna, सबसे पहले तो बताइए, how are you?
I'm good. It was a fun drive actually.
Yeah. So, Bhawna, today we will discuss about the influence of social media on young people's mental health.
Yes. This is a growing concern. I'm glad you are doing this topic.
Yes.
I get those questions a lot in my sessions. So I'm glad this is very perfect time because now kids will be getting out of school. So they will be sitting home and have a lot of free time. So they will be on the...
Many people talk about an increase in anxiety and depression. But is something truly unprecedented happening to the mental health of young people today?
I agree. I agree. So there is a biggest concern with the reason when you say young people, I think it's a growing concern with everybody. We are living in a very busy time. When I say busy, we are always thinking of what's next,
Yeah.
right? What's next? I'm here. It's like I could be sitting here right across from you and thinking in my head, what's next? And where is that stemming from? Right? And that's why we're our topic today, that it has a lot to do with how we are seeking immediate gratification. The instant gratification is what's leading us to this depression and anxiety. Yes.
That's correct.
Yes. And that since we're doing the social media, that is what instant gratification. And when we have it, we have this rise of the dopamine. Dopamine is one of the neurotransmitter thing that we feel good, makes us feel good. And when we are scrolling, we are feeling good about ourselves. We're looking at something which is giving us more satisfaction. We feel connected. And when we put it away, we don't have that. We feel like we put the phone away, we put the gadget away, we feel for some time, we feel, okay, I'm engaged, I'm involved. But back of our mind is like, this is not satisfying me. This conversation is not satisfying me. This work I'm doing, it's not as pleasant. So the minute it's subconsciously, our mind is still connected with that dopamine release. Like, I need that dopamine feeling, the instant gratification. So when we finish the task we are involved in, what do? We jump to the phone.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Sometimes it happens with me too. I do that.
We all are culprit.
Yeah.
We all are culprit because it feels good.
Yeah.
Everything feels good. So dopamine release is what is driving this force that we need, that feeling good. Yes.
In fact, whenever if I complete my all household chores, when I complete my work, so it's like, oh, now it's me time, and I just take a cup of coffee and start scrolling my phone. I mean, it happens. I don't know why, but all the social media is affecting actually everyone.
Yeah, it's a mindless task. We don't have to think about it. It's just like we say, we walk into the house and we know where things are. We don't have to think about it, right? We just go there and pick up the thing we need, and we can walk away. And it's like, did I go inside? Did I do that?
I know.
This is how we are connected now with our phones. It's not something we have to think about, plan it. It's right there. It's like you're cooking in the kitchen, you're going to the bathroom, you're doing something. Wherever you're going, your phone is in your pocket.
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely.
in your hands.
Absolutely.
And it's funny that a few years ago, when I first started noticing of people's pictures, especially actually I saw more with girls, they would always have their phone in their hand. Then the phone covers came with a back lid where you could keep your ID. Then now phone has other things where you can have your keys.
Yes.
Because you can't let go of your phone.
Yes.
So phone covers started adding all these other pockets.
Absolutely.
Right? First we had purse, and we put the phone in the purse. But that was like too much. We have to get phone out.
Yeah.
Right? So now we don't need the purse anymore.
Yeah.
We just have the phone.
Everything is becoming very handy.
So it's very planned. Sometimes I think that, is it a planned out thing, who came up with phones?
Absolutely. Right. So what are some of biggest changes you have seen in young people in mental health over the years?
Since I've been doing this for almost 19 years, I would say I've seen a big change. My kids are grown, so I remember when they were growing up, they didn't have phone. They were in middle, like almost, they were in elementary when the phone first came out, but nobody at that time, kids did not have phone.
That's why people always say, all the, teenagers, if we talk about our generation, all the generation who is after 2007, their mind is actually grown up on that by that time, and when they got the phone, that was easy for them to consume this. because their
Right.
mind already grown up. But what is happening today, we all phone and everything is very accessible for the elementaries.
Yes.
In fact, in USA, parents are giving them intentionally because of all the shooting cases, because they want, okay, if anything unfortunately happen, at least they can call us.
Mm.
But unfortunately, that it should not be happen,
Yes. Yes.
because
Um,
like if we talk about only the shooting cases,
mhm.
if unfortunately it happened, what a child has to do, they has to always follow the direction of teacher instead of call to they call to their parents.
Mhm.
But they will, what they will think, they just start dialing the phone and all. So everything is going a very wrong way.
Mhm.
It should not, because their mind is not prepared for all these things.
Yes. So they're born with the phone. The minute baby is born, we are taking pictures, right?
Absolutely,
So they see
absolutely.
the light. The light is so. I don't know the technology much, but I know there's some sort of rays, and there definitely some kind of light attention for the babies. We have a little one in the family, my grandniece. So we see that, she was very young when we started. She was already looking at the phone and smiling.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I realized that, there is something there that it feels more attractive because of the light, and they see themselves. Babies didn't know
Yeah.
when to smile, when not to smile, but
I know,
now
I
we
know.
are living in the world when they're born and they know about the phone,
Absolutely.
right?
Let's get back on the question. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
yes,
I
yes,
just
that's
out
okay.
of curiosity I started and
Yes,
just
no problem.
yeah.
So you were talking about the depression.
Yeah, my question was, what are some of the biggest changes you have seen in young people's mental health over the years?
Yes. So I was saying that has changed. I wouldn't say drastically, but I would say gradually it has really going in a very negative side, like with their mental health, because they're living in a. I don't know if anybody who are our listeners, they have read the book called The Anxious Generation. I highly encourage people to read it, because in that book, you will see that the new generation is very anxious. It's just the terminology was not used as
What kind of
loosely.
anxiousness?
Sorry.
What kind of anxiousness?
About everything. About everything. It could be academically, it could be relationships, it could be friendships, and it could be just who am I? When we usually talk about who am I, we are thinking it's very philosophical, spiritual question. When we are talking about adolescence, it's like, do I fit in? Am I liked? Am I important? Who cares about me? And these are the questions when they think about who am I. But that is very much based off what they see on social media. And that was not a thing.
Yeah.
Kids used to read books, and that's how they would form their own, psyche,
Yeah.
who they are, where they fit
Absolutely.
in, what is their roles in the society, what is friendships, what is my
Yeah.
parents' role is, what is my role. So being obedient, being a good kid, being intelligent, all those things they were learning from books and some PBS
Yeah.
channels, right? Now we have everything in the palm of the hand for the kids. They go to school, they have computers, they have tabs. They can learn everything from there. They don't need to listen. They don't have to hear from their parents. How in our Indian culture we talk about sanskaras, and when I was raising my kids, we use the word sanskara a lot. So, because that's our sanskara, that's our culture. And now I think it's more of what people say on the social media, even if they relate to the people, even from the same culture. So there are a lot of apps they use to form their own identity around it. So there are a lot of concerns of shame, loathing, self-esteem. Everything is around what they see on social media apps like Instagram, Snapchat. Facebook is mostly young people don't use Facebook as much, right? So there are so many other apps they use to form their identity. So when they look at it, of course, it really shapes their mind, and they start the comparison, and that leads them to feel more low. right? I'm missing, I'm lacking. They see, oh, all these friends are spending time together, they're hanging out, they didn't invite me, there must be something missing in me. So they try to change their appearance, they try to change things in them, and then they still didn't get invited. Then they're like, something is definitely wrong with me, and they start isolating themselves, right? And that leads to anxiety and depression. And it's, of course, I mean, it's even, I'm not saying just with adolescent, even younger and younger kids are going through that. So in my work, I see that all the
That's
time.
very unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate. So we definitely we'll talk about some solutions, little
Can you share any story or example for this?
from the perspective of social media or overall
yes.
depression and
Yeah.
anxiety.
From the perspective of social media, of course.
With the social media, I have had clients who 14-year-old not too long ago, they were struggling with self-image issues. There was a girl, 14-year-old girl, and she refused to go to school because she said, nobody likes me in school. I don't have any friends. So, she had braces, so she wanted to get rid of braces. It was not the time yet, but she said, take out the braces because I think it really makes me look ugly. So eventually parents had to take out the braces, say, okay, go ahead, take the braces out. So that didn't help. Then, she started writing a lot of stuff online, like, nobody's my friend. And then from there, the bullying started. So it was just sort of spiraled down, and even school authorities got involved because other kids said, like, she's also putting some, bad remarks, negative on their pages, like that they are not good people. So all those kind of got to the point where she felt ashamed of herself, and she wanted to get out of school, right? She wanted to move or just not go to school at all.
Yeah.
So it took some time, a lot of conversations. I had family session with.
So
I did
how
the family
many
session with them.
therapy sessions do they require?
It depends. I mean, if with her, it took some time because there was a lot of misunderstanding, miscommunications in the family as well. They didn't understand as a second generation child, like that. They did not have clear understanding the dynamics of the situation, like how much it has really impacted her. So most of the time families were more like accusing, like how other people have really contributed to her problem, but they didn't see that their own role in the situation. Like sometimes we think, okay, the child is sitting in their room doing homework, and it's not that just I'm saying it's parents' fault. Sometimes we're just not having the open conversations, open communication, what's going on in their life.
Yes.
In age, used to be 13, 14, they would lock themselves in the room. Now younger and younger kids, like 10, 9, 10, it's like, okay, leave me alone. I want to be in my room. You're in my space. And parents feel like, okay, they need to give them the space, right?
Do you think that it's a good idea to give them
No, I
space?
don't think it's a good idea. No, 9, 10 years doesn't need that kind of space.
Yeah.
People could call me I'm old generation, whatever, ancient, but I really believe that there is a time for everything. That 10 year old doesn't need lock on their room. And I personally think they need to be more open and transparent what's going on. And I think it starts from home. I mean, I'm not saying it's all responsibility on parents, but we need to start at a very young age with 3, 4-year-old. When they first go to school, you have to sit down with them and then start that conversation. How was school? And if they share whatever they share, you let them speak. Don't correct them. Don't pass judgment. Don't give suggestions. That's what I've seen that when I was doing parenting and I met other parents and going through this field, I learned that more you listen, listen 1/10. I mean, like listen, speak 1/10 and listen 9/10. Like let them speak more, and you just be there and let them have that. They are the center. They have the stage for them.
Okay.
Creating the space, then they have the voice. Then they don't feel like they need to find the audience outside.
That's very
Because
insightful.
right? Because we
Absolutely.
most of the people now are doing, like you're doing this podcast. Young people have their page, taking pictures and posting left, right, and speaking. They're here. This is what they're doing. They're trying to get that attention.
Yeah.
They're seeking the attention. Maybe it's just attention, period. It turned into be sometimes positive and can be turned out to be negative.
That's really obvious.
So if we create that space, the center stage for them, they don't feel that much. I'm not saying they still don't seek the attention, but they don't have that much craving. As they grow, 13, 14, they do. And then I will talk about that too. Go ahead.
Bhawna, we have seen new technologies emerge throughout history. When we were growing up, we saw evolution of television, video games, and the internet. Why is this current wave of social media and smartphones considered to be fundamentally different and more harmful than previous technologies?
Because it's instant.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, because I still remember we used to wait for our favorite television series like Shaktiman, Kaun Banega Karodpati, Ramayan. We used to see all this once in a week. We used to wait for for a week for our favorite program series.
Right.
So yeah, it was not the instant thing. Now, but whatever we want, we can just go and scroll and just click, and it is available.
Right. Because it's on, if it's you miss the time for certain thing, it's you can find somewhere that show, either on YouTube, some clips, or and I mean, if nothing else, if you have a favorite show you don't get to watch that, then you'll find something else. The another thing is we like to go to the next, right? This feels good right now, right? And then let's say somebody listened to Safarnama with Shilpi. It's like, okay, this is good. 10 minutes into, like, okay, I heard enough about digital, whatever, the social media impact on children. Let me, my mind is saying I need to, we don't even have to think about it. We don't have the attention span, right? Remember the shows before we used to watch the serials, they would have ad for in between.
That's correct. Yeah.
Nobody has the patience now, right?
Yeah.
We want skip.
We used to watch the ad at least. I still remember some of my favorite ads, like there was an ad Jalebi. Have you seen that ad?
No,
you didn't? Okay. It was a very popular ad. Small kid goes, I can describe you that ad. That's very, I feel very nostalgia right now.
No, good.
And we used to wait for that advertisements also. So we had patience. Right now, everyone is struggling for the patience also.
Yes, I'm glad you brought it up. I mean, in our home, we used to watch football. My husband and we first, when we were got together, we used to watch football. And in the football season, it was like the final, like Super Bowl day. We would wait for. He would watch the Super Bowl. For me, it was the ads. Yeah. Because it was new ads would come out that day.
Yeah.
And for us, we were just craving, like, what is a new ad? So I can share the excitement with you that we had to be very patient.
That's correct.
Right? And it was just a thing like, oh my God, it was like excitement is building up. So that's what's changing now. We don't have the excitement. Everything seems so dull and boring. So with the younger people now, they get bored easily. Everything is so dull. It's like, oh, let's go somewhere. Let's do this. Let's do that. And you have to parents constantly feel like they have to stimulate them. They have to do something to keep them going, right? They lose excitement quickly. So they bored easily. So that where is that coming? Boredom was never a thing, because we had patience.
Yeah, that's
patience brings excitement. And the excitement could last, like you said, a week. We had to wait for a Sunday or whenever the show comes. Now there's no excitement.
Yeah.
Right? There's boredom in between. Right? It's like, I watch this, now I'm bored, let me do this.
Yeah.
Okay, Mom, I'm bored. What do we do next? Can we go here? When you take them there, then they're bored again. Then you have to take, I want to go home. Why do they want to go home? Because they want to go on their phone and play games.
Okay, so most of times we focus on the negative impacts, but are there any positive aspect as well that we should consider?
So positive I have seen is that because now we've got more insight, we don't go out much. right? The only kids go out is who play sports. And if kids are not into sports, not any team sports or team music, then they feel isolated. So for those kids, they thought this would be a good thing. They can make friends online, right? So that's a good way. Then you feel connected. I mean, look at us. We have WhatsApp, we have Facebook, we stay connected with our families. Definitely, it's been a positive thing for us because it has united the whole world in just palm of our hand. Like we can access Zoom meetings. Now you're doing this podcast.
That's correct.
And I mean, there's so much knowledge is out there. We're learning so much.
Resources are increasing because of
education. So everything is accessible. The information is accessible now, which was not there. We had to go to library, do the research, and find out for certain information.
So if we talk about the turning point, there was a big change around 2007 when Apple launched their first iPhone. Can you talk about how that one change has led to a significant impact on young generation's mental well-being?
Yes. I mean, phone was okay, but I think it's the apps. Too many apps now are there, right? We're coming up with different apps. Phone was more.
I mean, do you think that was the revolutionary time?
Yes,
2007
definitely.
When Apple launched.
Definitely changed the world. We had a flippy phone first, remember?
Yeah, I still remember the first phone that I got when I was in my graduation. I'm not too old, but
I'm ancient then. Yeah.
There was a Nokia phone 3315.
Wow.
Do you know the Nokia series?
Yes.
And I was very impressed. Then after that, one more phone Nokia has launched, a very compact, and it has a white light.
I see.
So that was very impressive. Oh, phone has a white light. That was the selling point for Nokia.
Yes.
And then the flip phones came. Different kind of phones.
There was one this size phone.
Yes.
Maybe, right? This much screen.
Yes.
Like little box.
Definitely. We used to we used to use the phone only for the calls and for some text messages. Even we were not interested to know, okay, if he read it or not. Because now we can see that blue ticks. Oh, okay, he read it. The blue tick.
Yes.
So we are getting really impatient.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
No, you're right, because technology has come a long way, definitely, in a short span of time. And when we talk about industry revolution, that took some time. And technology-wise, it's been quick. I mean, you said 2007, right? I mean, it's been not even 20 years yet, right?
Yes.
So 18 years barely, and we have, oh my goodness, it's a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen that. Because
we have consumed lot of data.
Right. So it is starting from here to now screen.
It is blasting.
Now it's like in our cars. I mean, everywhere you go. I mean, I know they have it in the refrigerator. I mean, wherever you go.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You can just. Yeah. And I think now soon it will be where we don't really have to touch anywhere. We could just move like from far and things will happen. I'm just a little worried about that. I'm nervous about having my phone in my hand because radiation and all that. But I think kids are not aware of those things, right? They are not aware how it's really impacting. The light is impacting them. Earlier we were talking about when we touch it and we scroll our finger, and it eventually is going to affect their limbs. They're going to have over time the flat finger.
Yeah.
We're hearing more about carpal tunnel syndrome, people who use their type a lot. So these are the things that are coming up in physically. Also, some impairments are happening with people who are using their phones a lot and screens a lot, touch screens. So we have to see that, like, in that time to now, even this revolution, I say it happened, but it definitely has a negative impact because of the apps. So the apps was the grab for the younger people. Right? For old people in I would say in 30, 40 plus, they were just more about, okay, access. Like I can call, I can do things on palm of my hand. But now for information wise, younger people are the one want to access more information, and it has been detrimental. Not everything is true,
Yeah.
and they're relying totally on that
That's correct.
rather
That's
than
correct.
doing their research.
Bilkul.
Yeah, they're not using their mind as much like we used to do. I mean, I grew up with a time when we had to go to the library and find the research hours and hours to write papers and assignments. I mean, I went to college here, so it was a lot of work we had to spend to write a paper. Now they're just like, here's these tabs, that tab. Okay, I can write it down. Now
Things
we
are
have
getting
AI.
easy.
I mean, come
Yeah.
on, we don't even have to do anything.
Yeah.
Somebody else will write the paper for me,
Yeah.
right? So things have definitely changed. I mean, some good things happen, but it's alongside some negative impact.
That's very.
But when it coming to social media, I think it's definitely they have to use it wisely.
That's correct.
And that's where our role come as a parents, how we give them, I wouldn't say permission, how we give them the right tools. We give them the right tools how to manage, right, themselves. I'm not talking about technology. We can't manage technology. Technology is going with their own
I think sometimes technology is
pace.
managing us.
Yeah, but who is the one? I mean, we are the managers.
culprit.
We
That's
have
correct.
to see. We have to teach our children.
That's
now I want to
correct.
shift the gear that we have to teach that we are the person who are in charge. We are control. We have to teach our children and younger people, including first ourselves, that we have the control button. We are the drivers. We are the one going to drive this thing. That how I'm letting this information use me, how technology use me, or I use the technology.
It's easy to notice that as usage of technology is going up, mental health issues are also rising. But is there any proof that use of technology is causing these problems, or it's just a coincidence?
Oh, it's definitely contributed. I would say that technology definitely contributed. It shaped the mind of children. From last 10 years, I've seen a big change, right? When I started first, like I was saying, 18 years, it was different things. Most children, I would see that they had a depression and anxiety because they were lost a friendship. They had a breakup, or they're not getting along with parents, a lot of behavior issues in school. Now I see more and more parents bringing children in with a lot of depression and anxiety and isolation and loneliness and suicidal ideation and drug addiction. So this is what I see more. Drug addiction was there, but now it's a different kind of drug addiction due to boredom. Drug addiction because of the peer pressures versus drug addiction because of the boredom. So there's a big difference there. You are complying with other people, peer pressure. Hey, you leave the peers, you're better. Once you are sitting in your room smoking weed or other addiction like marijuana, vaping, so you doing that just by yourself, that's a bigger concern. It's hard to help that person. It's a challenge compared to when you say, okay, you have friends who are a bad influence, you leave those friends, there's a higher chance you will get out of it, okay. But now kids are having depression and anxiety because they are lonely, and they prefer that way. I mean, when I say prefer, they don't see the need. Sometimes they come to the point, I'm fine. They don't see there's a problem. They say, I'm fine.
That's correct. Absolutely.
It's not that we see that as a problem as parents, but children don't see that as a problem because they think they can entertain themselves here.
Yeah.
So when they sit on that phone or tab and scrolling, all that information, all that comparison, all that information is processing, right, in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And before you know, you're going to jump into something, click it, and that's not going to go well, and whirl up the things, and then you have some kind of button where you feel, oh, I'm anxious. I don't feel good.
Yeah.
Earlier I was talking about the 14-year-old. Then I I can give you example of another kid I saw, eating disorder. The girl wanted to look beautiful, so she stopped eating because she was looking at all the girls, like her friends. They were she was a bit, I wouldn't say overweight, and she thought she was really bulky and heavy, and I'm obese, and so she didn't like herself. So she wanted to look good. So she told her mom she wanted to get on a diet. So mom got her gym membership, got her nutritionist consulting. The girl would go every week, got on a diet plan. Everything was going good. And then I think somebody posted in her friends that she lost this much in this much of a time. In a month of span of month, she lost 15 pounds. She said, Mom, I haven't lost 15 pounds. I want to lose 15 pounds. So before she know, the girl gave her some kind of pills. And then she started drastically losing weight. Then that led to her not feeling hungry. That was the effect of the
I heard about these
yes.
tablets. Yeah.
So then before she knows, she became anemic. She was throwing up, bulimia. All these started, but it was just started from when somebody created a page where she saw how her journey been. And she thought, oh, I want to do too, because sometimes we don't realize that.
Yeah,
right?
Understood.
Right. So how it was impacting. So it was eating disorder. She was labeled with diagnosis was eating disorder.
So, Bhavna, sometime, many people actually, I heard about it because, in fact, in our last podcast, there was a guest, Mehtab Muradi. She also shedded a light on this. Bhavna, many childhood experts emphasize the importance of play and independence. Like, what vital skills and resilience do kids gain from unstructured time away from adult supervision and screens?
Yeah, we
And
are very
in fact,
protective.
if we are become very protective for the children. If we talk about our times, my mom and dad, they love us definitely, but they were not worry about so many things. Okay, if you're doing okay, I mean, we used to tell them the things. Okay, we did it. Not right now what is happening, all the parents are they want to know every bit of their kids, what he's doing right now. Okay, I have to drop him there, what he did in this hour, what he did in this hour. So we are keeping all the track.
Yes, I mean, that's why they call them helicopter parenting.
Yes.
Right, that we are constantly want to know where things are, what's happening every
Absolutely.
minute of their day. We keeping track of, and I think
I
it's
like the
coming
word
from our
helicopter
anxiety.
parenting.
Because we want to know what's happening with them every minute of the day. What are they doing? So I think it's coming from our anxiety that somehow we have created a culture.
Why these things
No,
have
we created a
changed?
culture. We created a culture. I think it's even, I see that in India as well, that we created the culture of perfectionism. We created a culture of achievement. We all have to succeed. The success is big deal now.
Why it has become very important?
Globalization, this whole thing. I mean, everything is here. We see everybody, how other people in the world are doing. I want to be.
Do you think
how much
because of
migration has
exposure?
happened in last 20 years? How many people have migrated to other countries? And from India is, of course, we talk about how much population is there, but there are a lot more migration happened in last 20 years than even before. So that has impacted that everybody successful.
That means exposure.
Yes.
Is the
that we know
key.
that we want to be successful. We were very content people. What we had limited, we were great. The achievement was like, okay, I live in a nice home. Okay, maybe I'll buy a TV, I'll have a refrigerator, I'll have a scooter, right? That's what they used to have. Now, okay, maybe some families will have cars, but it was just very limited. We were content society.
So now kids have everything before they ask even.
Yeah, so there's no contentment, right? Because they don't, they might ask for things, but that doesn't last long. It's boredom, right? Because we didn't have boredom, we had excitement.
Yeah.
We had patience and excitement.
Exactly.
But I think it's coming from the whole thing, the success. The parents, we want to make sure. I use this phrase a lot because when my children were going to camp at NASA, and one time they had the camp shirt said, "Failure is not an option." So when my child brought that from the camp, and I said, "You're not wearing that," and she said, "No, we are required to wear this." I'm like, failure is always an option. It's okay to fail. We don't want our children to fail. We don't give them the space to fail. We want to make sure they don't fail. Right? We failed. We fell on our faces, and our parents say, "Get up, you'll be fine." Now, oh my God, let me fix this for you. Who made you fall? Let me get to the bottom of this. Right? So we are constantly there for them. We don't let them fight their own battles. We fight it for them. Right? They never learn.
Yeah.
They never learn. They don't learn to run. They just stay there, and we are in their way of growth, mental growth. And rest of the dirty work the social media did. Some we did, some that
That's very
social media
insightful.
did.
That's very
It's the saddest
insightful.
situation. I mean, I can get really
The way you describe it, that failure is always an option, and actually that's
yes.
everyone should know this, that failure is always an option. It's not about that if you get failed that
Doesn't define
okay, let
you.
me
Failure doesn't
failure
define
doesn't
you.
define you. Definitely.
Right.
In fact, if I talk about myself, I faced failure maybe number of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this
I
is how you
faced
learn,
it.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
didn't get here just like that. You had to go through a lot of
exactly
hoops and hurdles too.
But these hurdles taught me a lot.
Yes. You got up and you moved. You said, okay, this
Like
is not
a
going to
small
hold me down.
kid.
So that's why it's important that we let the children do the same thing we did. Maybe you will not
I really
to be
like
that
the way you
level.
describe it. That's very thoughtful, Bhawna.
Yeah, thank you. You asking the right questions.
Bhawna, with incredibly immersive video games, personalized online content, virtual relationships, we already talk about it. Virtual relationships is the digital world becoming more attractive than the real world,
Of course.
especially for young people. What are the key factors driving this shift, and how might it impact their social skills, mental health, and overall development?
Everything. I mean, it's impacting everything.
Yeah, because we are more like in our online world. The real world is equally important. We should always go out. We should always talk to other people. We should always interact. We should always feel the new things.
Very true. Because once they have that, they don't have any excitement to do anything. Because see, earlier I said the dopamine release, right? Because dopamine, that's a thing. Like when you look at something and you like, especially when children play the game. You were talking about gaming, and they win. They feel good. I mean, and then they ask the other friend, "How did you do in that game? I played that first time around. I won the game. How was yours?" And score. Then they talk about the scores, and they say, "Oh yeah, I have that many scores," and they feel like, "Oh, I got this." So the self-esteem is based off a game, right? So everything is satisfied there. And then they come, let's say, I'll give you a scenario. I see that a lot with families struggling. So here, a child is playing a game with his online with another side friend, right? They won the game. They come up. They're very excited, like I am on top of the world. I mean, self-esteem is like right there. And then mom is not in a good mood because they didn't do their chore. They did not clean after them. So mom says, "Hey, you didn't pick up your plate. Look at that. You left it in the sink. You needed to wash it, put it in the dishwasher. You didn't do this right." What happens? They don't like us. They'll say, "Oh, here, that machine made me feel good. That when I was gaming, I was like, it was great feeling. I felt great about myself. And here, this lady is, think I'm not good enough." See that conflict of thinking?
Yeah.
So what would rather a child do? Rather play a game versus sit with mom
Yeah.
So what I tell the parents is like, if you want to build a good relationship with your child, you first tell them, if you want to criticize them, I don't even like the word criticizing, but if you want to really say this is not what they're doing right, before them, you tell them 5 other things they're doing right. If you wanted them to fix one thing they're not doing right, tell them 4 other things they're doing right. Then you got them. That's how you build a relationship. You got to compliment, right? You got to be on their good side. You are the only ally they have in this world. If you want to be them to listen to you, you got to be their ally. You let them tell them, hey, I didn't see you for last 20 minutes. Where were you? I was playing game downstairs in my basement. Okay, so what were you playing? Even though you don't care about what they were playing, but you ask them, how did it go? Did you win? Wow, that's good. Good. So you get next time 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
I give you 5 minutes more to play the game because you time them how much time they're going to be on the
Understood.
gaming, right? So if you give them 30 minutes, I'll give you 35 minutes starting next week. But you know, when you came home, I was so happy. You put your shoes away, you put your bag away, but you know, you forgot to put this dishes away. Can you do that for me? See the change? So how we are connecting with the child, like, you know, I am proud of you. I'm happy what you're doing. No, I usually don't say I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you're doing.
Yeah.
You never compliment in a way that their pride is only attached if they do things for you. You want to tell them you're proud of them all the time. We're just happy when, you know, you do your chores. So you kind of correct them because you have to, if they build connection with us, they trust us. If we respect them, they will listen to us. If we don't respect them, it's all about autonomy. We have to create autonomy. When we were talking about our parents, that how we were all playing on the streets, they gave us freedom. What were they giving us? They were not giving us freedom. They were giving us autonomy. Like, we trust you, you're capable, right? And that made us feel good about. I mean, deep down, subconsciously, we were not thinking, but we were like, I got this. I got this game.
Yeah.
Right? So that was the thing. Our children are not getting that autonomy. Because even if they build a little bit of autonomy by playing the game and feel good, we say, no, you're not doing this right. See, this whole helicopter parenting is not about doing things for them, making them succeed. But in the other side, we are also failing by putting them down, right? Their confidence is not building. Where are their confidence being built? When they are on social media and they have all this gaming, that's where they feel good. So we need to become their allies so they we want to have them lose these temptations. There's a whole world working against us.
Yeah.
I really see it that way, right? I mean, you have young children, you'll see that like there's big force in the world. I mean, there's a world outside, but there's a world in the machine. The whole world is in the palm of their hand, is telling them how good they are.
So, Bhawna, one idea is to set age limits for using smartphones and social media. Why is it especially important to focus on kids who are just starting puberty for these rules?
Puberty is a bit late.
Oh, really?
Puberty is late. You start at 6, 7 when they first see the screen. 3-year-old is watching TV, right?
Yeah, but in school, generally the school, I mean, I'm asking for the school age limit.
Yeah, they go to school, then you start the limit. I would say 3-year-old is going to daycare. They watch TV.
Okay, let me describe my question.
No,
again.
yes, go
so
ahead.
My question is, sometime in elementary schools are allowed children to get to bring their devices with them.
Right.
So
right.
do you think the school should introduce a age limit that only 10-year-old 11-year-old can bring the device?
Schools can decide that? You think that the school should have the limit?
Yes.
Okay.
क्योंकि स्कूल में ऐसा नहीं होता ना, राइट? कि स्कूल में तो बच्चे ले आते हैं, 4th grade स्कूल में allowed है यहाँ पे.
Oh, you talking about if they take the phone from home or things
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
So let me phrase my question again.
So
Yeah.
you're saying that at age 10, or I mean, adolescent age, when they should have that, if they could bring it or not,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I would say that up to 12, 13, they should not be bringing anything to school. I really think so. There has to be a system in place. We have come up with so many different systems,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the child is waiting for the parents to be picked up, if they need just phone for that, the schools have accessibility for the children to reach to the parents, right? It's a school's responsibility if kids are not picked up from their own time, right?
Right.
They reach out to the parents, hey, your child is still waiting. I would say to elementary school, they should not have that. And if they do, they should be put it away in the teacher's lounge somewhere in the locker, and only they get it when they are getting out of the school. During the school, they should not have these gadgets on the phones and
Understood.
stuff. That's what I think.
The online world lets people hide their real names
Mm-hmm.
and talk to strangers.
Mm-hmm.
What are the hidden danger of this, especially for kids?
Yeah. That's a biggest concern, right? That most of the people don't share their real names or age. And I have a couple of therapists. They had situations of such where children got into the trap, pedophile situation where the child was asked to meet somebody. So yes, there is a danger. So it's very important, parent, what do you call lock, parental supervision. You should have access to what sites the children are going to, and I see growing concern in our teenager with porn addiction. There's not enough locks. Kids find ways. So, but you can still see what screens they are going to. That should be established with your children, that you will always have the accessibility, right? Of course, when they're home, you can see it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they go to friends' home,
Yeah.
they find somebody else's gadget to access that. But it's just that building that trust with your child, building that relationship that they tell you.
So, how can parents educate their children about the risk of interacting with strangers online?
Yes, so I think these are the conversations we should have with our children when they are in elementary.
Oh, okay.
Yes, once
Or
they start
when-
going to school, and I mean, schools do some good jobs with that, they educate them. But as a parents, it's our job, because younger and younger kids are finding people online and connecting with them, especially with gaming, right? So we have to have the discussions. If you feel like they are sending you messages, they are asking you to show your picture, child needs to show their picture, and then you also don't put your real name. Tell your child you don't put your real name or where they live. So these are the conversations we should have our children at very young age. Like, hey, if you're going to be playing games online, if you're going to have your own social media page, then you need to be first of all, I don't think they should have it in elementary age anyway. But if they really fight their way into it, then we have that conversation how they can be careful.
As adults, many of us find it hard to stop looking at the screens. What simple thing can we do to pay more attention to other things and not be distracted by all the device?
Well, if you go for a walk, don't take your phone.
Actually,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But nowadays people are carrying, I got to see how many steps I did, right?
Yeah, and one more thing.
I have this watch. People
When-
have, I've been gifted 2 Apple Watches, but I don't wear them. I don't. I mean, my family's biggest complaint is like, you don't take your phone calls. And I said, I have times for phone calls. Only 2 people, 3 people, and my parents, I will say total 5 people, they know that if I will not ignore their call, like if they call me, I will take their call. Unless I have something going on and I need to look at my phone, I would not look at my phone. So that's the rules we have. That's the patience we're talking about. That's the discipline we need to have with our own self. And the children learn from us. So if we have to first do it for ourselves, that how can we be away from it? Like when you're doing this like this, then you're not going to look at your phone. Like your phone should not be there and you'll be questioning. Well, unless your child is coming from school and you have to go pick them up, of course, then there's a time for that, right? But it's like discipline we have to create. Going for walks, having conversation with your family members.
When we go for the dine out, I see lots of people. I mean, the couples are sitting together and they both are on their phone.
Yes.
That is really unfortunate to see that. I mean,
Yes, everybody's on the phone.
They come out for a good time and they are spending time on social
That means they don't have there's nothing a deeper connection. We're losing deeper connection with our family members. We're losing connection with our loved ones. Soon we will know what to talk about other than weather or politics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's the common thing, but we won't be able to say, hey, how are you? And after that, nothing. Right? Even spouses are going through that.
Yeah. Last question of today's podcast.
Oh my goodness, it's already the last one.
Yeah.
Huh?
When we spend a lot of time online, it can change how we feel about ourselves, our friends and family, nature, and even things that give us a sense of purpose or spirituality. How might living more online affect these deeper connections, especially spirituality?
Well, we got a lot of spiritual podcasts. That's what people think they're becoming spiritual, right? Because they think, oh, I have to listen to the satsang online, right? Yes, that's good. Follow some gurus and listen to their talks and podcasts. There's nothing wrong with it. But I think the more deeper connection you make it is more by yourself, like you're sitting alone and meditating. I highly encourage people to meditate. I think children should learn to meditate at age 3, because that's how I did it with my children, and it helps, right? So I think we have to deeper connection on social media. I don't know, people are connecting with the groups, creating WhatsApp because they follow the same spiritual path. It's all good, but it's again trying to prove to the world I'm part of something. I belong. See, again, I didn't use that word before, belong. Everything is about belongingness. You are my friend, I belong with you. I have 10 people, I feel I belong, they are my friends. I have children, belong. Even the baby born is want to belong. The minute we come to the world is belong. And now people think spiritual world is about belonging. Spiritual world is about disconnection. This is once we understand the spirituality is not the connection with the people. It's the connection with the one, right? But through that the social media, we cannot be with the one. We can be disconnected. Right? We have to create that separation from the world to be spiritually deep. I mean, this is how I see it. Many people might see it differently. But we think, oh, I need to be part of this community, WhatsApp community who follow this satsang. And yes, it's all good. It helps you. Once you first start your journey in spiritual journey, you need that to ground yourself and meet right-minded people who could maybe give you a sense of direction. But after a while, if you just stay lost in that, you're not growing. You're getting more into, I'm bringing 100 puris, you bring itna chana and halwa, and then we will do the satsang. Right? That's a spiritual community. That's what we call. Community is important.
But sometimes connection to yourself, toward your family, is more important.
Right. So it's everything starts from home. Right? Everything can be found in 4 people in family. Sometimes we don't really need too much. Right? I mean, we are in that place of, at least I can speak for myself. I mean, I'm in that place of my life, like seen all, done it all kind of thing. Like it's enough. Enough is enough.
I know.
Too much of everything is not good.
Not good.
Right?
Too much isolation is also not good. Right. But too much of, as you see,
stimulation. The children, we are getting stimulation.
That's very, All right. Thank you so much, Bhavna,
You're
for
welcome.
all the insightful answers. Especially what I like, pointed out, you shaded light on all the aspects,
Yes.
not only the
Thank you.
social media, the behavioral changes, the
Yes.
behavioral issues in all the stages.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much,
Thank
Bhavna,
you for
for the
giving me the
answer.
opportunity.